Y'all see the title, and chances are you know exactly what I'm talking about. But as I sit here and I reflect on the current state that I'm in over the past couple of days, I really realized that, sometimes we're not really as all right as we say we are, or we're not really as okay, or we don't really realize how hurt we are. And this is something that I'm going to try to keep raw and keep minimal cuts, but it's taken me truly now really to digest it in reflecting on everything. And I realize now that we're really not as all right as we say that we are. And sometimes no matter how much you can delude yourself into this mindset of, oh, I'm all right, it shows. And I've taken the time to really sit back and just once again digest and reflect on, where I'm at, my current state, health-wise, mentally, physically. And I've been saying I'm all right, but it shows. It's popped up in one of the scariest ways and most apparent ways in my life. And it's kind of traumatizing even understanding that feeling that I had. Basically, I was in the ER recently, twice, for my heart. Kind of crazy to just hear that at, first glance, everybody assumes something crazy. I think that I'm all right. Well, here I go saying it again. But I was in the ER for my heart. And I had been having a lot of chest pains and just going through it. My heart was skipping beats, hands and feet going numb. I was very lethargic. I had no energy, and I was a shell of myself, and yet I still tried to continue to say that I was all right up until the fact that I got to the hospital. During my time of being lethargic and really feeling all of the symptoms that I felt fully, it allowed me to reflect to where I got here, or where I got there. And it's because I kept saying that I'm all right. And it's a thing that we tend to do, more so as men, or fuck it, people in general. Excuse my language, let's not put a gender on it. A lot of the times we like to say that we're all right, and we're not really all right. It takes you to really dig deep inside of yourself, out past your own delusion, to truly figure out if you're all right or not. And I can say now that I'm not, and that's okay to say that. I'm not all right with the current state of, my living situation, or my relation with family, or just work and everything like that. And like I said, it takes me time to reflect on the situation, but basically all I've been doing recently in the past couple of months is I've just been saying I'm all right, I'm good. Everybody checking, hey, you good, bro? Like, yeah, I'm all right. Hey, you tired? Nah, I'm all right. Like, how you feeling mentally, physically, spiritually? I'm all right, because I'm a firm believer, God got me, and that's not to say that he doesn't. But at least on my half and whatnot, I'm always saying that I'm all right, and I'm not being truthful with myself, and that's exactly where it's gotten me. It's more apparent than ever, and a lot of the times we do that, we feel that, right? People tend to do the same thing that I do. They say that they say that they're all right. They chug it and go on, and in reality, whatnot. At some point, it comes to show, and like I said, now digging really deep into it to not make it redundant. So yeah, I'm not all right. My health has been diminished, physically, mentally, spiritually. I feel like I'm always up there, but it's been very apparent in my life. My heart has basically the issue that I had with my heart was due to my stress and anxiety, at least to my knowledge right now. That's what both of the doctors are saying, and I'm hoping that it's nothing greater, which I believe is so. I've been recently saying I'm all right. I've got stuck in this mindset. I'm all right. I'm gonna keep on chugging. I'm all right. I'm not tired. I'm gonna keep on going. Like, that's all I've been doing. And now it has brought me to the point where I've had to sit down. And I think that's what life is teaching me right now. And life is gonna teach you at some point that you're not all right, and it's okay to sit down and not be all right. And, especially as dudes, we kind of got like this grit towards, saying that we're not all right or we can't and stuff like that. But like, I realize now that, if you're not all right, you're not all right. You can't sit here and fake it. There's only so much that your mind and body can take because you internalize things so much. And that's exactly what I was doing. And it brought me to a state where I almost couldn't say that I'm all right. I barely had the strength to say that I'm all right. And the truth was brought forth in my words in saying that I'm not okay. I'm not feeling good. I'm tired. And this is something that I've never really got comfortable for. But I'm sharing this because maybe you can relate to the fact that we're always pushing ourselves. And we don't really ever take the time truly to realize, our state of mind. Even if you're self-aware, sometimes you can really just look past some of the finer details until life sits you down, sits you within yourself, right? And the thing that I've kind of noticed, right now is, I talk about the storm of life. Right now, I can't necessarily say life is storming and I'm going through it or anything like that. I think I'm putting myself through it. I'm putting myself through. A lot of the times we tend to put ourselves through it in saying that we're all right. And sometimes it's okay just to sit back and say that you're not all right. And now after going through that and really looking at myself, like, again, health is diminished. Physically, my boys ain't seen me in a while. I've lost a lot of my muscle in the past couple of months because I've just been grinding. I've just been up. I've just been continuing to go and say that I'm not tired. Sleep, man. Everybody see it in my eyes. I haven't really been sleeping, or even just in my appearance and my upkeep of my facial hair and of the such. It all becomes apparent in the fact that all I've been saying is I'm all right, but it goes to show that I'm not all right. So I say that maybe to touch you and allow you to reflect within yourself. Are you really all right? Are you really okay? Are you really not as hurt? Are you really not as tired as you make yourself out to be? Because I've sat down and I've really thought about it, and it's kind of put me in a weird space, but I'm just digesting it and whatnot, because I'm really not all right with at least how I feel right now, right? And just bear with me if I get a bit emotional. I'm human. Grant me that grace, but I don't need to ask you for that anyway. But I'm not really all right with, where things are in my life right now. And I'm doing great. I'm doing good for, everything statistically that I should be doing as far as money, credit, all of the fine adult things that they tell you should make you happy, right? But it just kind of seems like I'm missing something. And it's not purpose, because now I feel like I found my purpose within you guys. But overall, I'm just not all right with the environment. I'm not all right with the current state of everything in. And I've just been trying to make it seem like it's all right. And again, really diving into that has allowed me to kind of really reflect on that we really don't know how, apart from, not really being all right, we don't really know how hurt that we are. That's a real private and kind of sensitive space, when it comes to people talking about how hurt they are. But, I sit back and reflect, man, I'm not all right, and I'm kind of hurt deep down about the situation and everything where I'm at in my life, although everything is going really great. And I really just realized I haven't even been keeping eye contact or trying to talk to you guys. But anyways, I'll just give you an example in my life right now. So, moved across the world, I'm all by myself. I got a great job, I'm doing everything fine. But I come home today, there's no one here. And as much as I talk about being alone, I'm okay with it, but I'm okay with being alone, but I'm not all right. Deep down, I'm really not all right with this. And it kind of bothers me, maybe just because it's taking a little bit of time, or maybe just because I came home, but I really realized that, I'm truly not all right. I'm not all right with this. This is one thing, I don't really have anybody around me. I'm up here, I don't really got too many people to talk to or anything like that. And yeah, that's just one example. It's just me. It's just me in this empty apartment, all by myself. Nobody here. And yet I say I'm all right, but I'm not all right. I don't like this. And that, I guess maybe that stems from another thing of kind of being around family or the community, as we are social creatures. I cannot speak. But we're social creatures, and maybe it's an aspect that, I'm feeling some type of way because I visited family and I left. But maybe this can give you the time to maybe reflect on, are you truly all right with the current state of, where you're at within your family relations? I can say, I'm not, and it's very painful. As I sat down and really started to reflect, and these are all the things that I internalized once again, saying that I'm all right and I'm not all right, when I actually deep down I'm thinking about all these things that I'm about to list or that I have listed, right? So like just one example is, like this is probably just a quick little example because I just looked at my phone. But this is my son right here. This is my dog Puma. It's just one of my dogs and whatnot. I don't know how it's coming on camera, but I love him to death. My dog has anxiety just like I have anxiety. He has separation anxiety, and right now I'm currently unable to keep him, and it sucks, because when I leave he gets to crying, and it breaks my heart to hear him cry all the time. Or even something that's simple, and I'm forced to, when people ask how I'm doing, do I miss home, I'm all right. But deep down, I miss my dogs. I miss my dogs. Shout out Freya, I love you too. But Kuma just is more so attached to me. But or even like my mom and whatnot. It just in my absence, I feel as if it's really creating a kind of like a time distortion, or more so increasing time on her, or more so, I guess, the biological clock, if you must. The biological clock goes by as I'm out here chasing success and doing everything like that. I'm out here doing my own thing, chasing success and all of that, and the biological clock doesn't slow down. So as you take time and you look at your parents and you start to realize that they're getting old and you're not there, it puts in perspective that like one day they may not be there, and it's painful. I'm not really all right with that. I'm not really all right with that. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm far from home and whatnot, but I'm not all right with that. And there's this thing that we started a while ago. I don't know when we started it, but every time I leave, I give her a hug. And I don't know when we started. It was while I was in the military, but every time I leave home, I give her a hug. And once again, I just think, man, with the way that everything's going, I'm always gone. I may not be able to give her a hug one day. And that kills me. That really does kill me. Just bear with me. But yeah, man. These are just some of the things that I know that have affected me, and deep down I've been internalizing and saying that I'm all right and continuing to just get up, working 14 hours out the day, man, being on night shift, switching to day shift, and continuing to go and just keep on saying that you're all right and not realizing not all right. You don't always gotta say that you're all right, and sometimes you don't know how hurt that you are deep down. Once again, I just talked about it with my mom. Although it seems like everything is all fine and dandy over here and whatnot, and I say I'm all right with everything that's going on, bro, like, really not all right. Maybe I just need to go and spend some more time with my family, be more appreciative, and take more time with people or something like that. Maybe that's something that you need to do, but it's just a question that, I want to ask to you is, are you all right? Are you really all right? Do you realize how hurt you are deep down? Because sometimes we get so caught up in this world and just revolving and just going around and just get off center, just so used to just going and going and going. And we skip over the things and truly have the time to really dive deep into ourselves sometimes and realize that we're not all right. Or we try to play it off like we all right, like not all right. I used to say all the time, if I call my guys and I ask them how they are and they say I'm all right, then I'm cool with that. I know they're good. But actually diving into this and like, reflecting on it, bro, like, nah, y'all gotta talk to me. Y'all gotta talk to me, man. I know, cause I hear it all the time. Your homeboy said they all right, and you know what that means. Nah, let's talk about it. I don't know where I'm going, but it's just something I wanted to talk about. And that came to me. Sometimes you're not all right. So we get so caught up in being a superhero in our lives and in other people's lives and showing that we're just going and there's nothing wrong with us, that we don't realize that there's actually something wrong with us. We don't actually get the time to sit down. We neglect our rest. We neglect our nutrition. We neglect our mental. We neglect our spiritual. All because we're just so used to ripping and running. And then when asked about it, we're told we're conditioned. It's kind of like a condition to say that we're all right. But it's all right to say that you're not all right. And I can say that I'm not all right. Again, I am not all right, at least in this moment. Because You know, I'm not all right, but I know it will be all right. And, you know, although I'm trying to figure out, you know, deep down how hurt I am when it comes to my current situation and things like that, I understand that pain goes away. I guess maybe that's just my message is in this one is really just take time to dive deep in yourself. Are you really all right? Are you really okay with your situation? Are you really okay with how things are going? Are you really okay with how you feel? You know, and if you're not, it's time to diagnose and make some change. As I said before, that, you know, expecting different outcomes without changing anything is the definition of insanity. So if you're not all right, then something has to change. And I realize that's with me right now. Something has to change. Maybe I need to spend some more time with my family. I for damn sure got to get back in the gym. I for damn sure got to start taking my rest more serious, so I don't end up in those situations again. So life doesn't have to sit me back down and say, hey bro, you ain't all right. Stop trying to fake it. Stop trying to clown. You're being delusional. You're not all right. I'm not going to subject myself to that anymore. So I need to change something. And maybe, you know, if you feel as if you're not all right, you need to change something. But I guess that's just my message for today. But yeah, it's very apparent. I look bummy. I'm kind of regressing, you know. I usually don't wear, you know, light colored shirts. I'm usually in solid colors, or I'm in my jacket and whatnot. But I just, you know, I like being my raw, authentic self. And, you know, like I said, just showing it off that I'm not all right. Because, you know, I'm skinny as hell, facial hair everywhere. I ain't got a haircut for real. I'm in some bummy behind joggers and, hey, but I got the Crocs though. Oh snap, balance. And closing again. It's okay to not be all right. You don't always got to be the macho man or macho woman. You can say that you're not all right and allow yourself some grace and actually feel that. You don't always have to put on this shield of armor. Sometimes you can take the shield off. Sometimes you can take the armor off. You can peel it back. You know, once again, you don't got to be conditioned to saying that you always all right. Sometimes you're not all right, and it's okay. We don't really know how hurt or damaged we are spiritually, mentally, or physically in any way until we actually truly sit down with ourselves. And it's okay to sit down with yourself and realize it. It's okay to say that I'm down right now. I say it all the time, but you know, maybe I need to practice what I preach a little bit more. But yeah, sometimes we're not all right, and it's all right not to be all right. It's okay to say that, because guess what? One day it will be all right. Not all right, but all right. Get it? I'm tired of saying the word now. But this got me in a little bit of higher spirits and whatnot, just, you know, coming on and talking. This is my thing that gets me going, is just having conversations with myself, and I get to reflect back with it and stuff like that. If you're not doing all right, I hope all is well. I'm here to tell you that everything is all right and will be all right. But you need to diagnose what it is that is not, so that way you can fix it. And as always, keep your head up. Peace, love, and blessings. It'll be all right. One breath, one step, one day at a time. If this resonated with you or you got anything to say, go ahead and drop a comment below, or drop I'm not all right. It's because it's all right not to be all right, and we could talk. Also, check that description. I got a little special community that I'm working on in there. It's in the rough draft. So yeah, go ahead and join. I'm still fixing it up and stuff like that. But yeah, it'll be all right. I gotta change something. I gotta get to it. I gotta lock in. Next video maybe? I don't know. Yeah. All right, love y'all.